3 of the week 6 learning guide for college algebra. We are more than halfway through week 6. And if you missed the first two parts, no worries. I have put the links to the part 1 and part 2 in the description below. If this is the first time you are seeing my face, hello. My name is Dr. Marissa May. I'm on a mission to help students feel confident in their math class. So here we are. If you want a copy of the learning guide here so you can follow along, I'll put the link below too and you can download it. But let's get started. This video is going to focus on inequalities and compositions of functions. And we're going to jump right in to solve an inequality. Now notice this inequality has a quadratic in it, has an x to the second power. So we're going to use some strategies here. I want to get all the terms on one side of the equation. So I'm going to begin by subtracting 4x. That's going to leave me with x squared minus 4x is less than negative 3. And then I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So I end up with x squared minus 4x plus 3. I was really looking for it to have 0 on the one side and everything else on the other side. And I have that. Now I'm going to try to factor. So it looks like x squared minus 4x plus 3 gives me x minus 3, x minus 1. And I don't want to really go any further than this, okay? I want to see these points. I can easily see if I went and set these equal to 0, I would get x equals 3, and I would get x equals 1. Those are important because I'm going to put them on a number line. And you may be thinking, why a number line? Well, let me show you. We are going to test an interval. Okay. What do I mean by that? I'm going to choose a value on this side of 1, like easy, 0. Okay. Then I'm going to put in 0 for x. 0 minus 3 is negative 3. 0 minus 1, negative 1. Negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. That is not less than 0. So I know this interval here is not part of the solution. I'm testing the interval to see if it's part of the solution. I'm testing the interval to see if it makes this inequality true. Let's do 2. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. That is less than 0. So we know this interval works. Then let's do 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. 4 minus 1 is 3. 1 times 3 is 3, which is not less than 0. So it looks like the only interval that works is the one in the middle. Now you can write this as an inequality. That would be 1 is less than x is less than 3. Reason I didn't use an equal to is because the original inequality did not have an equal to. Or you could use an interval. And you could say from 1 to 3. Either one would be fine depending on what kind of answer you need to give. Okay, let's look at number 2. For this one, we're given a graph of f of x, and we're asked to give inequalities. Sorry, we're asked to solve where f of x is greater than 0. When you see this, I want you to think of f of x being positive. So I'm going to grab a highlighter here. F of x is positive when this graph is above the x-axis. So here's your x-axis. When is this graph above it? Here and here, only in those sections. So it looks like this is between negative 2 and 2. So between negative 2 and 2, it is above the x-axis. And then again at 4 and beyond. And that beyond meaning keep going. That's why we put the positive infinity there. Now, B asks us, where is this graph below the x-axis? That's what that notation means. And so I'm going to have to use this section and this section. Okay, so to say that, I would say from negative infinity to negative 2. Now this time, because of the equal to, then I'll use the bracket, and then we're going from 2 to 4. And again, using the bracket because of the equal to under the inequality. Okay, finally, let's look at number 3, which is the composition of functions. A lot of students get confused on this one, so I'm going to go kind of slow, make sure we understand. When you see this notation, we commonly call it fog of 2, I want you to start on the far right. You're going to find g of 2. Now, g is here, and we'll find g of 2 by plugging in 2 for x. That becomes 2 plus 2. Square root of 2 plus 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. Now, friends, watch what happens now. Now, that 2 becomes f of 2, and the f comes from here. So we did this first. We found the number. Then we plug it into this one. So now I'm going to take 2 and put it in for x in this one. That becomes 2 squared, which is 4. So the overall answer here is 4. Let's do it the other way in the next problem. This time, we start on the far right. So we're going to find f of 2 first. We found f of 2. That means to put in 2 for x in this function. So that's 2 squared, which is 4. Now we're going to take that and we're going to put it into the first function. It's kind of backwards. You have to start on the far right. Now we're going g of 4. So we're putting 4 in for x in this equation, which would be 4 plus 2. That gives me the square root of 6 for that one. Definitely practice, practice. I also gave you an example here in the box for you to look at for a little more clarity. So, and if you have questions, you need more math help, please feel free to reach out to me on my contacts there. I would love the opportunity to help. Don't forget, the biggest way that you can say thanks is to hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks everyone for watching. Bye for now.